But we want to make sure that it is something that we will be able to facilitate.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news, it's a matter that has previously caused some friction between the government and some unions. The minister responsible for the public service is now giving an update on the bi-weekly pay system government is looking to introduce as part of a wider public service reforms. Cleopatra Murphy has tonight's top story.
Government still intends to move forward with its plan to implement bi-weekly payments for some 25,000 civil servants, despite a delay for the pilot that Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, says officials had intended to launch early this year. This is after several unions, including Bahamas Public Services Union President Kimsley Ferguson and Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson, initially voicing concerns and demanding greater dialogue on the changes that could impact their members.
We are getting from our Congresses that most of their members are interested in the semi-monthly payments, but we want to make sure that it is something that we will be able to facilitate for the majority. It remains an option for those employees that don't wish for that.
Wilson in January revealed that 80% of BUT members preferred a monthly salary, but the minister believes there are benefits to the bi-weekly system.
We still have a meeting with one Congress that is left to be scheduled, who is leaning towards advising us whether their members are on board or not. We're not imposing anything on public servants. We want a more efficient, a more effective, and a more accountable system. And this comes through our Oracle Cloud Bahamas system, but we want to make sure that it's something that fits for everyone and that we're able to ensure that our system works as required so that we don't have any more inefficiencies in the system, in particular when it comes to human resource matters and payments.
Glover-Roll previously said the public sector reform would align the public service with the private sector and increase cash flow for civil servants.
The Oracle system is going well. You will see soon enough a PR campaign that's being rolled out to not only educate our public servants, but to educate the public at large on this new HRMIS system that the government is bringing on board.
She says individuals are currently in training, and once that is done, the Ministry of Finance will meet with the final Congress, and after that, they will determine how the program is rolled out. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Labor and Public Service, in conjunction with Grupo Anderson's Bahamas, will be hosting a 3-day job fair next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Grupo Anderson's is taking the lead on Carnival Celebration Keys food and beverage venues. The job fair will be held at the Ministry of Labor and Public Service in the Wynn Building downtown from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Most importantly, we want to note that there are over 600 jobs that are available at all levels, from entry level to management, and this job fair is specifically for opportunities for Grand Bahamians.
Just asking you, before you come, to go onto the Job Seekers Bahamas website, and we want you to register with the Department of Labor. And once you come here to the job fair, we're asking you to simply bring a current resume, a current photo, and a ID, which could be a passport or voter's card and your NIB card.
Grupo Anderson's Bahamas Head of Human Resources, Holman McDonald, is inviting interested candidates to attend.
We were part of 2 job fairs previously with Carnival, one here in Grand Bahama and one in New Providence. So all persons who would have already applied through each of those job fairs, through our websites, it's not necessary for them to come because we already have their application and they would have already been touched. Now, this is specifically for those persons who have yet to submit an application to us in order to be considered for any of the positions up at Celebration Key. So we'll be here along with the Human Resources team, my team, as well as the hiring managers are going to be present with us as well, who's going to be taking the lead on everybody who's going to be coming for the job fair.
Well, a Grand Bahama resident is expressing deep gratitude to a Royal Bahamas Police Force officer whose quick actions may have saved his life after experiencing a medical emergency. The resident says the officer's timely assistance made all the difference. The officer in turn says he was simply in the right place at the right time.
He was not just total stranger. but you know, as I said, I found out later on that he was a police officer.
It's not every day that law enforcement officers are publicly commended for their acts of service, but for one Grand Bahama resident, expressing gratitude was a must. Lenworth Smith encountering a medical emergency that could have taken a turn for the worse while standing in line at the Grand Bahama Power Company.
My blood pressure went too low and I became unconscious. I don't know how long I was out for, but once I was slightly revived, there was this gentleman who was helping me and calling the ambulance, saying it's an emergency.
That gentleman is Sergeant Valentino Oliver, an officer of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division.
While off duty, I was basically on the line, standing up, making some inquiries in reference to my light bill. When I noticed an elderly gentleman walked in very slowly. He seemed to be kind of, like incoherent or whatever, and all of a sudden he just fell. And the way that his head hit the floor, it appeared as if he had some kind of concussion because it was a loud thud.
The officer quickly stepped in to render assistance.
Since I went on the floor with him, I started little minor compressions. I started to speak to him to get him to kind of regain his consciousness because he was in and out, slipping in and out. And I started to inquire about different information that was asked. Ask him different questions like, what's his name? Where does he live, his date of birth, and he was able to give me that information. I immediately go on my cell phone. I made contact with 911 and speak to EMS personnel in reference to the matter.
Sergeant Oliver didn't stop there. He took it a step further by visiting Smith in the hospital the following day to check on his recovery. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Smith wrote a letter of commendation to the officer in charge of the Northern Bahamas, highlighting his appreciation for the officer's kindness and quick action.
Again, it reinforces your faith in mankind.
The officer in charge of the traffic division, Christopher Farquharson, also commending Oliver for the assistance rendered.
It's an example for all of us to follow. Wherever we see something, take action.
Well, today marks World Down Syndrome Day, a global initiative aimed at raising awareness, advocating for inclusion, and celebrating individuals with Down syndrome. Here at home, officials from the Ministry of Education, Grand Bahama, Bimini, and the Keys, along with students from various schools, are paying tribute by wearing brightly colored mismatched socks, a symbolic gesture of support and solidarity. Education Deputy Director Michelle Boleg shares more on the significance of the day.
This day is set aside since 2012 to bring awareness by the United Nations to celebrate persons who have Down syndromes in our school and in community and societies. It is a day that we bring awareness to let persons know more about it, and so that they can be included in everything that we do in society. And so I'm really, really delighted that this district is celebrating Down Syndrome Day in all of our schools, our students, our teachers, and I am certain that today students will learn more and become more tolerant, become more accepting of persons with Down syndrome.
And still to come.
ZNS staff pay tribute to Lucas Wagus. That story, sports, and more when we return.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison. Get ready for the Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition 2, happening May 1st and 2nd. Network, explore, and grow with top industry leaders. Register today at freeportbusinessexpo.com. Celebration Key presents the Lifeguard Swim Test in Freeport. Join the action at the YMCA on March 27th at 9 a.m. Walk-in registrations are welcome. Scan the code to register today and take the first step toward becoming a lifeguard. Calling all local musicians. Celebration Key is holding auditions on March 27th. Showcase your talent and bring the rhythm of the Bahamas to the world. Register today and be part of the magic. She's Rocking It Conference is happening March 23rd at 2:30 p.m. at Old Bahama Bay Resort and Yacht Harbor. Celebrate the journey of exceptional women with keynote speakers, inspiring testimonies, and more. Tickets are $65, lunch included. Get yours today.
It's the second annual Turks and Caicos Come Go With Me Musical and Jazz Festival, June 5th through 9th. Book your hotel now at Ports of Call Resort, Turks and Caicos. Daily breakfast included. Short distance from the event. Email now. Reservations at portsofcallresort.com using discount code CONCERT15.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Officials from the Bahamas National High School Leadership Conference and Pageant 2025 are welcoming scores of students from Grand Bahama and New Providence as this year's competition gets underway. The official opening ceremony taking place at the Grand Lucine Resort, featuring dynamic speakers, including the Minister for Grand Bahama, who addressed the young leaders.
I am currently representing Hampton's Academy, home of the Owls.
And we are representing the prestigious,
the excellent
JC Academy,
the prestigious Sunland Baptist Academy.
Students from across various schools on Grand Bahama and New Providence gathering at the Grand Lucine Resort for the official opening of the Bahamas National High School Leadership Conference and Pageant 2025. Director Darrell Stubbs sharing insight into how the conference came to be.
This started about 13 years ago, somewhere between 10 to 13 years ago. And I started planting seeds by having school pageants around the island and branching out to the smaller islands, to the other family of islands.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, officially welcoming participants on behalf of the government.
This event is more than just a competition, as the director has indicated. It is a celebration of excellence and leadership and talent.
The minister also revealing exciting news for the winners.
We are a part of a contingent that will be representing the Bahamas at the Sister Cities International Leadership Conference, where they will stay at a university and they will have an experience out of this world with other youth leaders from throughout the world.
Throughout the opening ceremony, dynamic speakers took to the stage, each addressing critical topics aimed at empowering young leaders. Discussions ranging from knowing yourself and investing in tomorrow to preserving mental health and the ripple effects of giving back.
Once you put that crown on your head, all eyes will continue to be on you. But it's not what they see you wear. It's how you act.
Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about self-acceptance, accepting who you are, where you are. True confidence comes from knowing who you are as an individual.
Success and where you want to go in that career choice is the end goal. The beauty is in the journey and getting to it.
Do not give up. Do whatever it is that you need to do to silence those voices in your mind that tell you you're nothing, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. Do whatever it is, whatever you have to do, but do not give in to the voices.
Well, in other news, prominent business leaders from West Grand Bahama will be honored during a women's conference in West Grand Bahama on Sunday, March 23rd. The event is sponsored by the Queen's Academy. Founder of the organization, Ms. Askel Smith, notes that it is important to highlight these women who would ordinarily go unnoticed. She talks about the reason behind the title of the women's conference.
It's a play on words because it originally was for women in Igma Rock, from the rocks, and you're rocking it. But it is a conference designed to empower the women of West Grand Bahama, especially in the area of, well, this conference in particular is in the area of business. And so she's rocking it. We have a lot of featured women from West Grand Bahama who's going to just grace us with their journey and let us know the ins and outs of the industry and how they got where they are right now.
Sherelle Lockhart is also a part of the organization. She is appealing for the entire community to support this event.
This conference is designed for us, by us, but we want everyone from East End to West End and all areas in between to please come out and enjoy this momentous occasion. We will be honoring some of the pioneering women in our community from Hepburn Town to West End.
Now the one-day conference begins at 2:30 on Wednesday in West End. Well, Queen Victoria Cruise Line made its maiden voyage to Grand Bahama Island on Saturday past. While it was an unexpected call to the Freeport Harbor, Captain Martin Shaples told ZNS News he was more than happy to visit Grand Bahama Island.
We will engage in an extended voyage every year. So this particular year, we've made our way around South America. In the previous year, we completed a full world cruise. And then next year, because Queen Anne is embarking in the South American Discovery Adventure, we are actually going to be completing 3 one-month extended voyages from Southampton in the UK to the Caribbean and the wider Caribbean to then return back to the UK. Moving on forward than that, in 2027, we will embark once again on a round world voyage. So I'm sure we'll be heading to this part of the world very soon.
It can be considered a royal welcome to our shores as the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, was on hand to welcome the group.
So excited to be here at the inaugural visit of Queen Victoria to Grand Bahama Island. You know, Grand Bahama is doing very well. We have 2 new cruise ports coming to the island, and I think this is indicative of what to come. The guests are average over 70 years old, and so they practically, some of them, I would say, live on the ship. And so it's been like between a 77 to a 90-day voyage. And they, as soon as they came here, they want to get off and go into the community. So it's a good thing for our island, and we expect to have many more of these visits.
Well, and finally in the news, the life and legacy of 17-year-old Lucas Wagus will be honored on Saturday, March 22nd at Freeport Bible Church. Wagus, who passed away on Friday, March 7th at 4:30 p.m. at the Rand Memorial Hospital, was a beloved figure at ZNS. Tonight, the staff reflects on his memory, remembering him as a source of constant joy during his many visits to the newsroom.
When I'm 18 years old, I'll work at the Northern Service.
His presence at ZNS was like a burst of energy, always brightening the room. For those who knew him, Lucas Wagus wasn't just a friend. He was a constant source of laughter and a reminder of what it meant to love life.
I wish us to remember Lucas with his legacy of love. Lucas was special in so many ways.
Lucas would always come to me and tell me he wanted to be a sports broadcaster. And, it brought a lot of joy to my life and my family's life.
Lucas loved the ZNS, and the staff adored him just the same. No matter how busy the day was or what task you were tackling, when Lucas showed up, his energy demanded your attention.
The front desk say, "Hey, Lucas is over there." Everybody just light up because they know once Lucas coming here, he take on the boss role.
I think there was a time where I was out and about, and he noticed me, but I didn't notice him. And the next time he saw me, he let me have it. He's like, the next time you see me in public or I hear you in public, you need to hail me. And I'm like, Lucas, I didn't see you, I'm sorry.
Lucas was a fun person, and he really was excited to be a reporter.
Sometimes when it was tough around the workplace, when you saw him, Lucas smile, he just brightened your day. And his attitude and his energy towards ZNS just was commendable.
I found him to be a force of joy and enthusiasm.
While he enjoyed being in front of the camera, he never overlooked those working behind it.
I asked Lucas, which one you like the best? Who's your favorite cameraman? He'd always say Roger. He'd always pick Roger Russell.
He was my good buddy. He was my hero. He called me his hero, but he was my hero. When he would come in, he would see me, his arms open wide. Roger Russell. I was his #1
You know, he was my #1 fan, if I could say that.
I mean, goodbye, Roger Russell.
It is with heavy hearts that we remember Lucas Wagus, who passed away on Friday, March 7th, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. His family and loved ones will gather to celebrate his life on Saturday, March 22nd at the Freeport Bible Church. Lucas, we will certainly miss you here at ZNS Northern Service. And that's a look at stories making news. Sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
The Night Before, a gripping stage production by S.L. Shepard, live at the Regency Theater, March 27th through the 29th at 8 p.m., with a special matinee on March 30th at 5 p.m. Tickets are $30, available at Imagine Graphics, the 17th shop at the Gregory's Fine Foods.
It's the 2nd annual Turks and Caicos. Come go with me. Musical and Jazz Festival, June 5th through 9th. Book your airline tickets now with BritishAirways.com, BahamasAir.com, or InterCaribbean.com.
What is Business Fit? Business Fit is a group health insurance package offered by BAF Financial. What are some of the benefits of Business Fit? No deductible, dental and vision care, hospital room and board, surgical treatment, labs, medication and drugs, maternity, doctors, clinics, specialist visits, chemotherapy and radiation treatment, air and ground ambulance, and preventative care. Business Fit, offered by BAF Financial.
Put it in.
Let's keep it clean.
Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Top and Sports Primary School Softball Girls Championship action between West End and Grace Christian Academy. After a slow start in the first 2 innings, Grace Christian Academy turned on the heat, winning this one 10-1 to win this year's Primary School Girls Championship.
From start to finish, locked in, focused, keyed into the task at hand. From the beginning of the season, it was a lot of bumpy roads, but through it all, through this game, we made it through. So I'd like to thank the good Lord for bringing us through this. We started out from summer until now, and it was a lot of bumps, a lot of ups and downs, even with the children and with their schoolwork and stuff like that, trying to balance out. But through it all, they made it through, and we thank God for it.
MVP honors went to 5th grader Ariana Roll, who struck out 14 batters in the game.
It was nervous because it's my first time playing and winning the championship, but overall it was a good game, and I think I did my best. I like how they played. They wasn't scared, they wasn't nervous, they was strong, and they didn't let nobody intimidate them. It's my first time playing, so I feel proud of myself.
Next in sports, flag football season begins this Sunday, March 23rd at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. The first game starts at 1:30 p.m.
This season, we have 5 male teams that are competing, and we have 4 female teams. So we're looking forward to at least 10 weeks of flag football action, followed by 3 weeks of playoffs. And then that culminates at the end of everything. We have our annual tournament once again. We've really been trying to get the kids more involved, to get the youngest of the young ones more actively involved. So we're working on some plans in and around that. We're still trying to put together a Grand Bahama Youth Flag Football League. So if anyone is interested in being a part of coaching, being a part of planning, being a part of organizing, just reach out to us.
And finally in sports, day one of high school track and field nationals off to an impressive start for athletes from the north. Erin Barr won gold in the under-20 girls 1,500 meters. Carter Hilton won gold in the under-13 boys 400 meters. BMES Trinity Garvey also won gold in the under-13 girls 400 meters. Avante Lotmore took home gold in the junior boys 400 meters from Tabernacle. Sunland's Trinity Roll won the junior girls 400 meter title. Alicia Knowles from St. George's won the 400 meter title in the under-20 girls race. In the senior boys 400 meters, Zion Shepherd ran 46.88 seconds to win the title while also running the Crifter qualifying mark. Tabernacle's Dwight Jones won the under-20 boys high jump with a leap of 2.00 meters, and Tamara Ballard from Sunland won gold in the junior girls javelin. The high school nationals will air on the ZNS network through the weekend at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium.
Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Now, I know I've said it before, but this time, I swear it's different. Grammy dreamed about this number, so I won't lose. I can't lose. This is my last time. Please, son, just give me one more chance. I'll give it all back to you.
Excessive gaming affects more than just the gamer. This message has been brought to you by the Gaming Board for the Bahamas, which encourages you to game responsibly.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And once again, that She's Rocking It conference will take place on Sunday at 2:30 p.m., not on Wednesday. I corrected it, ladies. Don't stone me. That concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next. Here's a live look at them now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, alternative paths to home ownership. Keys presented to another group of Bahamians now on the journey of fulfilling a lifelong dream. Also, one tragedy averted, the same not to be said in the case of another, as detectives probe both an attempted suicide and a homicide here in the capital. And a psychiatrist sounds the alarm on a disturbing trend among Bahamian youth and a possible solution to curbing those numbers. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. A Bahamian woman is tonight facing the full brunt of the new Trump administration's deportation policy. According to WPLG Channel 10 in Miami, LaShar Smith was arrested at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport this past Tuesday after U.S. Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement officers took her into custody for overstaying in the United States. Smith, who has no criminal history, is now being held at a detention center in Baker County, Florida. Now, her partner James Joaquin told the news station he and Smith left the Bahamas for the U.S. some 10 years ago for a better life. It is customary for Bahamians to have a United States travel visa to enter that country. According to Joaquin, he and Smith made several attempts to become permanent residents, but nothing worked. He claims his next move is to work with a local congressman and hire an attorney. Now, we spoke with Bahamas Consul General in Miami, Kurt Hollingsworth, earlier this evening, who confirmed that his office has not yet been contacted to render any assistance to LaShar Smith. The CG says he will update our news team on this matter once he receives any information. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security's website notes that as of March 13th, Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement had made 32,809 enforcement arrests. This is, of course, a developing story we will continue to follow. Well, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, somewhat tight-lipped when questioned about that recent incident involving a Bahamas Air flight attendant and $100,000. As the Haitian Times tells it, officials intercepted the money at Hugo Chavez Capacian International Airport from a Bahamas Air flight on March 1st. Police subsequently arrested a Haitian man and woman as suspects. However, the flight attendant, who allegedly handed the man the bag of cash, quickly boarded the return flight to Nassau. Though disclosing he does not get involved in law enforcement operational matters, Minister Munro did say this.
The matter is still open on the arrest here. What I would say is anytime that you see the police arresting people, the police initiating investigations, it shows that they're doing their job. And like I say, the close proximity in time may tend to indicate that the police are acting on intelligence and may say to minded criminal actors that the police will get you if you continue down this line. So I would think that we should proceed on that basis, that this shows that the police are acting on intelligence.
On a lighter note this evening, individuals presented the keys to unlock home ownership. Our Devontae Hanna has the latest on the government's rent-to-own initiative in Sir Lyndon Pinling Estates.
The government of the Bahamas handing over the keys to 8 new homes here in the Lyndon Pinling Estates subdivision, which was formerly known as the Private Gardens Phase 2. And of course, as you can tell, it's pretty exciting here, particularly for one of the new owners, Miss Margaret Kareemberry. That's how she's talking to Antoine. Kareemberry Porter. I gotta get it right. Get it right. Well, first of all, Miss Berry Porter, congratulations. Thank you. I know that you were pretty excited. Tell us a little bit about what does this mean for me.
Boy, when I first got the paper in my hand, I was like, wow, I said, this for me. So they said yes. I said, man, I don't know if I should laugh, cry, or dance or stuff.
8 new homes were handed over. The key presentation happened today. You can see behind me, you understand that all of them are 3-bedroom homes and 2 bathrooms, and are also included as a part of this initiative, this rent-to-own program. These individuals are qualified for this program because now have to pay a monthly fee in order to gain ownership of the home. So it literally is exactly what it means. And the Prime Minister, of course, led this handover ceremony along with the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the Honorable Keith Bell, and they said that, you know, this is all a part of improving the quality of life for Bahamians. So reporting from Sir Lyndon Pinling Estates, I'm going to answer their possible.
Well, thanks, Devontae. And fun fact there, the Keys presentation comes on the eve of Sir Lyndon's what would have been his 95th birthday. In other news, countries around the world on the edge of their seats, watching the policy decisions coming out of the United States, especially how they will impact the economy. A group of central bankers, economists, policymakers, and academics are in town for a special conference that could not have come at a better time. Tonight, we learn how to be prepared for the eventuality of any fallouts or setbacks. Felicity Darville has the details.
Central Bank of the Bahamas successfully hosted the Macroeconometric Caribbean Conference 2025, which wrapped up at the Atlantis Resort on Friday. With keen ears, global economists converged to learn from one another and chart the way forward in uncertain times. John Williams, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, said that uncertainty is across the board.
I talked to my colleagues, especially in the region here in the Americas, and you're right. I mean, what the Fed does, what the ECB does, what other countries do have huge effects, and we understand that. At the same time, we have to understand the interconnections, the connections between our countries and our economies. And importantly for the Federal Reserve, clearly that we understand also that this can affect capital flows in other countries and understand that.
Our central bank governor, John Roll, said our country is focused on managing that inflation.
I think if you're in the central banking environment, one of the things that you always prepare for is how you respond to the kinds of changes, whether they're from policies or from other sources, changes that are happening in your economy, and how you focus on managing, the behavior of the public and the market in ways that keep the economy on a solid footing.
Even in uncertain times, there are some things Bahamians can do for themselves.
So much of what we do as individuals are based upon what we expect will be happening in the future. And so in the case where central banks are very focused on dealing with inflation and managing inflation, a part of it is, maintaining the credibility with the public that they are doing what is adequate to, keep inflation within, reasonable limits or reasonable margins.
Mr. Roll advises the public to save for rainy days and diversify your income, including considering purchasing government savings bonds from Central Bank. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Well, for 50 applicants of the Bain and Grantstown recent bonfire training, the journey to securing government contracts is a bit clearer. Representatives recently gathered at the area's constituency office to learn about the requirements to successfully participate and succeed in the contract bidding process.
We have the members from the Ministry of Finance here who are going to teach persons how to register on bonfire. As you may be aware, bonfire is the procurement portal for the government, and all of the bids of the various ministries and departments basically have to launch their proposals or their bids or the RFPs on this particular portal. A lot of my constituents in Bains and Grandstand are not familiar with it. A lot of them have the capacity to provide and do the work. And we had a conversation the other day, and we talked to a number of our constituents about coming together as a team to see how best they can probably bid on some of these contracts that are available on the government's portal.
Gian Knowles says as a businessman, he felt it a must to be a part of the program.
I thought it was a great initiative. As somebody who's aspiring to get a contractor's license, the actual process of getting bids and learning the process, learning the language, I thought is very important. I'm not actually from this constituency, but it was too good for me to pass up.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. ATC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
What is it? Oh, ghost pepper burger. Chicken. I always at Popeyes, so me just come and taste their chicken. Wow. Nice, crunchy. This is off the chisholm.
Wow, that is way better than I expected. Very spicy, extremely spicy actually. The bread is very soft. The chicken is juicy. Yeah, that's spicy food.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot there, an aerial shot there of the historic Fort Montague, opened way back in 1741. That makes it one of the oldest forts still standing here in New Providence. Welcome back. If police have their way, it's now only a matter of time before detectives close in on the person who pulled the trigger and killed a man in an inner city neighborhood early this morning. The incident reportedly took place after midnight. Police tell us it was around that time that an unknown gunman entered a business on Charles Vincent Street and opened fire before taking off in a dark-colored Japanese model vehicle heading north. The victim, who authorities say was shot multiple times, was taken to hospital in a private vehicle. He reportedly died soon after. The matter's under active investigations. Police are also hoping to determine the motive behind another attempted suicide here in the capital. From all accounts, a 23-year-old woman was at a Seabreeze Lane home late last night when she ingested a large quantity of medication, that is, in hopes of ending her life right then and there. Instead, she was rushed to hospital where at last report she was said to be in stable condition. Just last Friday, a 22-year-old man was found hanging lifeless from the ceiling of a Star Estates Prince Charles Drive home. Under the penal code, whoever attempts to commit suicide is guilty of a misdemeanor. While he makes no apologies, noted physician Dr. Sean Knowles is pushing for the legal age to consume alcohol to be moved to 24. And not only that, that identification is required to actually purchase alcohol and vapes.
We're seeing a lot of persons using substances in this country to the point where the unit at the Science Rehabilitation Center, for weeks, we cannot admit anyone because we are filled to capacity. So that gives us an idea of what we're dealing with.
An even better idea will come from a confidential survey on substance abuse and gambling disorder in the country. Another initiative is planned for next week that entails educating youth about the dangers of mental health in terms of behavioral and substance addictions.
The importance of not starting prior to the brain's completion of development, which we recognize based on research is around age 24. And so I, myself in particular, will try to break down for the young people that will be in attendance to help them understand physiologically and anatomically how the brain works, and so give them an understanding of why it is important not to start.
Dr. Knowles revealed all this while accepting a $30,000 donation from IL Cares to Sandilands Rehabilitation Center. The money is to be used to assist those who have fallen addicts to gambling. Well, in part two of our look back at COVID-19's impact on the local education system, we speak with Sitting Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin, who candidly reflects on the strategies implemented to assist students struggling to regroup following the pandemic's severe fallout.
Upon assuming office in September 2021, Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin says much work continued to assist students in lockdown as the coronavirus continued to spread.
It might have been intermittent, hybrid, it was called, face-to-face and virtual, but by and large it was virtual learning. So students were out in the thousands, purportedly learning through the virtual platform.
40,000 in fact, but many were not in class because
a lot of students were not signing on, and so we had we saw a huge deficit of students who should have been online, who were not online. And in fact, we looked historically to see what was happening over the 2 years of virtual learning, and we were quite concerned to see that there were thousands of children who were either never on or on for very short periods of time.
In January 2022, the Ministry of Health gave the green light for schools to open, but many children were a no-show. Some schools had just 40% attendance. So, led by Minister Hanna-Martin, teachers and others went on walkabouts to find every child.
That walkabout was launched in at Uriah McPhee Primary School, but it transferred to schools all over the nation, where teachers, principals, the police, NGOs, unions came together and hit the ground. That proved to be a very effective strategy, such that today we are looking at attendance in the levels of 92%.
The pandemic resulted in significant learning loss worldwide, which Hanna-Martin says the ministry continues to work to correct. And Minister Hanna-Martin says more help is available to students to help catch up. Reporting from the Bahamas tonight, I am Vaughn Albury.
Well, thanks, Vaughn. Without fail, each year a number of children are reported missing. What's comforting is that in the vast majority of these cases, these youngsters are found. Except, however, in the case of Devin Isaacs, whose family is holding on to hope that any day now he'll walk through the door. Now, Daniel Dean spoke exclusively with the teen's mother. Just listen in.
Tashana Thompson, mother of Devin Isaacs, whose whereabouts are still unknown, often reminisces on moments like these in his absence, now nearly a year.
When he want to eat, he want to go to different restaurants and try the food. Whether they not, he just want, or he want, when it's time to go away, he want to spend his money because he want to go away, and he want to buy a new phone, he want to buy a new tennis. He just love to live life.
Devin went missing May 15th last year, and though police revealed shortly after that he was spotted, nothing much followed. Thompson says her instinct as a mother tells her son is still alive. However, she believes he's not on the island.
Nassau is too small, and people just be about all over, family, friends. Even people who don't speak to me, they just be all over the place, and it's impossible for nobody, if he's here, not to see him.
In the midst of it all, she wants Bahamians to know that human trafficking is very much real. But the thought of that being her son's reality...
Pure torture.
Devin is Thompson's second of 3 children and only boy.
One time I almost get in an accident driving because I see this little boy passing and look just like him.
His absence taking a toll on his 18-year-old sister, who Thompson refers to as Devin's Irish twin.
He went missing the day she started her PGCSE to grade 12. She graduated and he wasn't there, and we had big plans.
Does she feel officials are doing all they can to locate her boy?
Not really. I haven't heard from the police since October of last year.
To the ongoing claim that her son ran away, the mother responded, "He didn't run away. It's not a runaway case, and I don't know what happened, but I strongly believe that someone is holding him against his will." Unable to fathom the thought, the public would suggest otherwise. Ms. Thompson hopes moving forward there will be less judgment and more consideration, noting others don't know what it's like to be in their shoes. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, good job there, Danielle. Stay with us. On the Beat is after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time. Limited time.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
In tonight's Feel the Beat feature, Devontae Hanna speaks with recording artist, producer, environmentalist, entertainer, Mr. Boatman himself. Take a look.
Legendary Kirkland Bodie, better known as KB, sharing his genesis in Bahamian music, which has turned into a decades-long career.
I love the culture. Of course, I grew up doing foreign music like everyone. You know, we always gravitated to what was foreign first. Right. And I had to learn over the years that what we do, I should put that first, and that's more important than everyone else's culture.
In an interview on ZNS The Drop, the voice behind I'm a Boatman singer candidly opened up about finding inspiration from international artists to begin his musical journey. He admits, though, it was Bahamians that caused him to stick to the good old rhythm of rake and scrape.
We were into more or less like the rock and roll stuff, so definitely like Rod Stewart, Queen, Hall & Oates. You go through it. Of course, Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, those things we grew up doing. But you would hear your Tony McKay, Dusty Oberman, you would hear your Ronnie Butlers, you would hear your Eddie Minnis, and they were different, and the writing was so good that you could even compare them to the U.S. stuff.
KB, known for songs with subliminal meanings and messages, says his writing approach harps on the mystique of the Bahamas and the storytelling of other artists.
When I wrote Chifat, the idea was the same thing. Down and under, this big girl. So you think of a big girl, and so you cute. So that's where the story. And then you, as like I said, I grew up. I love literature. I love poetry. I love those things. I grew up listening to a lot of music, and so I would take those same ideas, like with those foreign artists, like let's say it was Led Zeppelin or Rod Stewart or whoever was writing, Cat Stevens. I would go and I could take that same idea and try to over to a Bahamian.
And if you're not able to catch the legend in performance, you can learn more about him right here on the ZNS YouTube page.
Well, Dawn and Marlena join us live for a sneak peek of Access Now.
Ursula, we're in the Lenten season, and guess what? I Am Stacks is in the building. Isn't that right, Milena?
He is. And I'm really enjoying Entertainment Fridays.
Yeah?
I have quite a few questions I want to ask. I just need to know the backstory, how did we get here? So I'm really looking forward to that tonight.
All right.
We all are looking forward to hearing more from the entertainer this Friday. Stay with us. The National Report is back after the break.
Diet-friendly special.
Do you ever just want more?
But wait, there's Marco's! Introducing the More Marco's menu, packed with your favorites starting at just $6. Like our warm, golden baked cheesy bread, crispy stuffed risotto. How about a hot, fresh, medium one-topping pizza, subs, calzones, pizza bowls, and more. Starting at just $6. Certain restrictions apply. More variety, more value, more Marco's. Order today at Marco's Pizza, Bahamas.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
It's tree planting time for CARICOM Youth. Danielle Dean has the details.
And hear what Anne-Marie Davis had to say at the 19th Annual Girls in Leadership Conference. So stay close for that.
Plus, it's Entertainment Friday, and I Am Stacks is in the house.
And coming up in sports, after 1 day of completion, we see who's in front at the high school track and field nationals.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
It's Friday, Marlena, the favorite day of the week for many of us, and a chilly Friday at that.
Oh, yes. It's nice and gloomy and chilly. It's definitely calling for everyone to huddle up with some pillows indoors.
Believe it or not, Malena, some folk are still saddling up in the cold en route to jumping happy hour, perhaps. Whatever our plans are, let's saddle up now to dive right into the news, shall we? Several environmental enthusiasts today one step closer to planting 1 million mangroves, a move they say will benefit Bahamian ecosystems more than many comprehend. Danielle Dean got down and dirty, literally, to plant some of her own and filed this report.
Hundreds of mangroves were planted on the shores of Bonefish Pond today as Bonefish Tarpon Trust, Bahamas National Trust, the Bahamas Forestry Unit and Waterkeepers Bahamas joined forces in environmental upkeep in the capital. But for those asking why mangroves, Rashema Ingram of Bonefish and Tarpon Trust and Director of Agriculture Dion Gibson suggest these points for consideration.
In the way that they will help to revitalize our way of thinking, to continue to provide food, to provide jobs for our people, and to also provide protection for our islands during storms.
So just behind us is the Bonefish Pond farming plots, and we have about 100+ farmers there. So it's very important to protect this area because when storm surges come, the farmers can be threatened as well.
Following the devastation that was Hurricane Dorian back in 2019, the organizations have collectively devised a plan to plant 1 million red mangroves across Grand Bahama, Abaco, and New Providence.
So we really wanted to restore the areas that got damaged during the storm. We finally got a chance to plant over 52,000 mangroves, and of course BTT, they're able to plant over 100,000 mangroves.
That milestone of Bonefish and Tarpon Trust was reached in December thanks to much welcomed help from volunteers and students.
An initiative that started during the 50th anniversary where we took over 100 students and we planted hundreds of mangroves. And I'm thankful that the ASG Solomon from CARICOM, she's here with us as well to partner with us.
This particular exercise of planting mangroves is something that you probably don't know, but the foreign ministers every May when they meet, they plant a tree in different islands of the member states of CARICOM. And so this initiative is actually a fantastic one to be participate in and to be part of an exercise that is helping with the front line of the climate change challenge.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Empowering young women to collaborate, discuss challenges, and create solutions. That's the focus of the 19th Annual Girls in Leadership Conference hosted by Straw Incorporated's Center for Young Women, which brought together young women, leaders, and mentors for change. Diane Dorset has more.
Under the theme, The Situation Room, Lean In, the annual Girls in Leadership Conference held at Super Club Breezes welcomed dozens of young women eager to gain insight into leadership, social issues, and personal development. Founder and Executive Director of Straw Inc., Therina Cunningham, says Lean In is about stepping in together.
We want the young women to lean in, to actually conceptualize the issues and the concerns in our country and around the world, and to lean in together, to collaborate, to partner together, to understand these issues, to discuss them, and to have actionable plans to help solve them as they return to their campuses.
The one-day conference aims to create a safe space for girls to talk about challenges they face. Miss Teen Galaxy Bahamas, Tanari Watkins, a mental health awareness advocate, says events like this help girls feel heard and supported.
Well, it allows young girls to have a comfortable space, to have a safe space to talk about whatever issues they may be dealing with, and also empowering them to bring up conversations about their mental health and care about their mental health. I hope to be inspired, and I hope to take home skills that I can use to help others and help my community and impact others around me.
The conference also features workshops and presentations from inspiring women in leadership, including the spouse of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis. She hopes attendees leave feeling motivated to create change in their communities.
So this conference here today continues to be a source of empowerment, encouraging you to expand your minds, to build your confidence, and elevate your self-esteem. So please don't take this opportunity today lightly. All your speakers are going to encourage you to build your confidence and expand your minds as you lean into your situation room.
Organizers hope the lessons learned will inspire these young women to continue working together, leading and making a difference. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Thanks a lot, Diane. Well, continuing with the empowerment of women this International Women's Month, Scotiabank hosted a luncheon for head girls of various public and private schools. Matea Cunningham has a story.
Scotiabank hosted its Young Women in Leadership Luncheon under the theme Accelerate Action. The event brought together head girls and deputy head girls from various private and public schools. Recognizing that the young women are at a pivotal stage as they approach the end of high school and prepare for adulthood, Director Nakira Simonet emphasized the importance of empowerment.
This year, however, we also wanted to add a unique component where we welcomed in high school seniors, female seniors, into Scotiabank. 1, to see the environment. 2, to interact with some of our female leaders across the bank. And 3, really talk to them about empowerment initiatives and activities that can help propel them in their future. And so we have senior head girls, deputy head girls, senior leaders from schools, both government and private, that are here with us today. And we're very excited to welcome them into our Scotiabank network.
The speakers featured a distinguished panel of Scotiabank representatives who engaged the young women in a discussion of financial independence.
So you see me sitting in this chair, I've not always been this type of speaker. Like, my boss is in this room, and she could tell you, like, sometimes I used to be like, okay, what I can say when I go on this call? Like, how should I, scared, because I was looking at how would I sound, would it sound that I'm prepared, how would I sound to others, so perception. That held me back for a very long time. What I would say is take those risks. Greatness is within you.
I then asked the speakers what advice they had for young women who feel pressured by time while navigating the challenges of being an overachiever.
Each of us have a different journey. Each of us are going to achieve milestones at different times. We all come from different financial backgrounds, and so while some people may go directly off to university, others may have to go to UB, others may have to work before starting university. There is no clock, and I think what's imperative is that you don't measure yourself against other people. You have to run your own race.
Most female high school seniors are facing both personal and academic difficulties. However, Scotiabank is focused on instilling empowerment within them this International Women's Month. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Matea Cunningham.
Thanks, Matea. Well, administrative professionals from across the Bahamas gathered today for the Bahamas Association of Administrative Professionals annual spring educational seminar. Held at the Holy Trinity Activity Center, the event focused on professional transformation, equipping attendees with key insights to navigate the evolving workplace. Perky O'Brien, current president of the association, emphasized the importance of ongoing education amid adaptation in today's professional environment.
That's why we put on the seminars, to try and help the office professionals, to motivate them to go and do courses that would enhance their career. And so by doing these courses, they learn new things, new experiences. And so that would propel them forward to advance in their career.
The seminar featured multiple speakers discussing topics such as career advancement, workplace confidence, mental health, and ethics. One of the highlighted sessions was Savvy Strategies to Confidently Succeed at Work, where speaker Keisha Winter, leadership consultant and executive coach, provided key takeaways for career growth and self-improvement.
The idea is that the whole theme here is about having professional transformation. And a lot of times we talk to ourselves in ways that we would never speak to people that we love. You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're too old, you're too young, you don't belong. And the reality is, if we want to experience personal transformation, we got to take that criticism into coaching, to coach ourselves to success, to recognize that we have all that is we need within us to be successful. And so that was the highlight of my presentation today.
And with administrative roles continuing to evolve, events like today's seminar provide vital resources for professionals to stay ahead. The Bahamas Association of Administrative Professionals says it remains committed to fostering professional excellence through educational initiatives.
The Alan Luck Cares Foundation is taking a stand for mental health and responsible gaming. On Wednesday, the foundation donated $30,000 to the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center to support programs aimed at addressing gambling addiction in this country. The donation will help fund educational initiatives, counseling services, and public awareness campaigns. VP of Marketing Kenny Dean says the effort is part of a broader push to promote responsible gaming and provide resources for those struggling with addiction.
As a leading gambling operator in the Bahamas, we recognize that while gaming brings excitement and entertainment to so many, it is also crucial that we acknowledge and address some of the realities for some who may be challenged with this form of entertainment. That's why today, during Gambling Addiction Awareness Month, we are proud to donate $30,000 to Sandilands to support their ongoing efforts to battle gambling addiction treatment, and we have done so for the last 5 years.
A study conducted by the Institute of Public Health Ireland found that between 22 and 81% of problem gamblers in treatment report suicidal ideation, while up to 30% have attempted suicide. The Sandilands Rehabilitation Center has been instrumental in addressing mental health challenges, including gambling addiction. Senior Nursing Officer Paulette Dean says the funding will allow them to expand outreach export efforts and provide specialized services.
Your contribution for our cause has been instrumental in helping individuals affected by gambling and substance use disorder, allowing us to provide critical interventions, counseling, and educational resources to promote recovery and well-being.
With gambling addiction becoming a growing concern, both Island Luck and Sandilands hope this partnership will encourage more awareness and open conversations about responsible gaming. And still to come, I Am Stax is here to chat with us. His performance is on the other side of the break, so keep it locked.
Your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Welcome back. You're watching Access Now. There's a shot of the marina at Atlantis. Amazing shot by our drone pilot, Destiny Reed. Good job there, Destiny. And guess what? It's time to go down to Exuma, so let's go.
With 1 month to go before completion, residents in Exuma are patiently waiting to ride on smoother roads, all thanks to the Exuma Road Improvement Project. Some of the island's local government councillors shared their excitement with Altavis Munnings.
Charged with governing the operations of Exuma, members of the island's local government council, who were just elected for a 3-year term this past January, are elated with the results of the Exuma Road Improvement Project, spearheaded by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies. Chief Councillor Glenn Davis boasts that Exuma's roads are now wider and safer for residents.
A lot of them are happy with the way it's going. You know, we have some areas that need more attention, some of them that in short time they could deal with that, but so far it's been pretty good.
Kim McKinney represents Rollville on the local government council. That's the areas of Exuma Point to Mackenzie Town. She's overwhelmed with pride that the new roads on her side of town have been upgraded and welcomed by residents as well as visitors.
I changed shocks twice. It was really bad. Really, really bad. You dread going to town. But now you could fly, you know. Cruise control, use 40 and just cruise. It's a pleasure.
West Town Committee local government councillor Vernice Fulford echoes similar sentiments.
I'm from a small community named Old Place, included with Farmers Hill, and the road was like terrible. You couldn't even ride a bicycle through there. But now they paved the road. It's very nice. The main road is awesome, but we have some side roads that we need to be paved. They are very, very bad. It's too safe because everybody just make like 100 miles an hour and they go through the bushes. That's how good the roads are.
And the chief counselor is offering this advice to Exuma motorists.
Adhere to the speed limit because you could get caught off guard with the roads being so smooth. So just be careful while driving the road.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings.
Good job over there in Exuma, Alto. Let's turn things over to Malena, who is standing by with our gospel artist. Malena?
Thanks, LaDawn. We continue to reflect during the season of Lent, and we also continue to showcase our gospel artists. Joining us tonight is none other than I Am Stax, but we'll just call him Stax tonight. Welcome to Access Now.
Stax is fine. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So during this season, if you had something to reflect on during the season of Lent, what would it be?
Family. My firstborn, my son, is 5 months. Oh, he's actually 6 months. So he's in this phase now where he's eating solids. To me, that's a big deal. This is the first time I'm really watching it up close with a baby. So I'm extremely grateful for family, a great wife as well. So yeah, family.
Amazing. So what got you started in your music journey? What made you decide you wanted to be a gospel artist?
Well, I've been here a very long time. So this is actually my 15th year.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I was 19 years old, I was living a pretty chaotic, reckless life. And I just sat in my room and I just felt like an actual physical void. And I just was like, I don't know what this feeling is, but I guess God, if you are real, like take this life that I have and do something with it. And he responded, signs after sign after sign, and I started getting into the scriptures. And at that time, I was already doing music, but it was like music you wouldn't want people to be listening to. Like, definitely not my mama, definitely not my grandma, definitely didn't want them listening to what I was making. So this transition came with the choice to serve him, so I just gave everything over, and I guess you could say he sanctified it, or he's using it. Yeah, so yeah.
Amazing. Now, so you've told us you're a family man, but what else do you do when you're not doing music? How do you spend your time?
If I'm not doing music, I am probably listening or watching a video. Sports. They're gonna say that this isn't a sport, but you know, I've always been a wrestling fan, a wrestling guy. So if I'm not with family, I am definitely watching wrestling. People are gonna say it's not a real sport, but I guess I'm infatuated with the thought of being able to take characters and make them and then put them out there and see how people respond. So I like the storytelling
the
of it.
interactive.
Yeah.
That's cool, and I'm sure that's not what people are expecting.
No, they're thinking, oh, you're watching these guys. It's, you know, it's not real. But I'm just.
It's entertainment.
Yeah,
it's fun.
The thought of taking a person and being able to say, the people love you. Let's see how they will respond if we have you be a bad guy. And like literally to see people affected by this character's change, I'm like, this is good storytelling.
I love it.
So, yeah.
So speaking of storytelling, tell us a little bit about the song that you're going to be performing for us tonight and why you've chosen that song.
Oh man, this song is a very special song for me. So 2020, I went to do what most men should be doing, and I went for an annual physical, go to the doctor's, gents. And the doctor basically came back and she said that you have this, the diagnosis was basically that my liver was enlarged. Never had liver issues, never had liver concerns. And the mindset that I had back then was this is happening to teach me something. You know, God is allowing this because he's trying to step in and be the superhero who heals the person with the diagnosis. So I was under the impression that I was being punished so that he could strengthen me in it. And I later discovered that I had a revelation of God as Lord, but not Father. I didn't know that he could be anybody else's father except Jesus. So I just said, okay, God, I don't know how this sonship thing works, but I know that you aren't abusive. You are not the kind of father who will break my arm and then heal me to show off your superpowers. That's narcissistic, you know? And I'm like, that's all I have right now. I don't know much about sonship, but I know that you aren't abusive. So I started really studying sonship and how basically the love that God gives Christ, he also gives to us. And while I'm bragging to someone about this newly found revelation, the phone literally rings in that moment, and the doctor says it probably was something that you had to eat, because the test came back and your liver is back to normal.
Oh my goodness.
So everybody around me was celebrating. When I was like, God, what was up with that? He's like, man, it wasn't really about the test. It was really about how you saw me. It's almost as if when I saw him as a good father, the doctor literally calls as I'm bragging on his goodness.
Yeah.
So it's called Abba, and yeah, that's the heart behind this song. It's definitely one of my favorite songs.
What a story. And we can't wait to hear it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see that performance. Let's check in with Total Sports to see what's coming up.
A recap of day one of the high school track and field nationals coming up in sports.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Big 14s get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Welcome to your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports day 2 of the Ministry of Youth Sports and Culture's High School Track and Field Nationals, well underway at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. But day 1, dominating the competition, would be the BAICS rivalry between the St. Augustine's Big Red Machine and the Queens College Comets, as they would lead 7 of the 8 divisions after day 1. Let's take a look at the highlights.
You are the reason we gather, ready to cheer and rejoice for every event. Yes, championships bring medals, trophies, and accolades, but more importantly, they reveal your character.
That was the nation's chief Prime Minister, Honorable Philip Davis, at the opening ceremony for this year's National High School Track and Field Championships. After a brief parade of schools, it was time to hit the track. Family Island's well represented. Boys under 1,300-meter title going to NGM Majors Justice Adderley, finishing in 13-21. Grand Bahama showing that they are a force to be reckoned with as well. Versatile athlete Kezra Thomas, fresh up a stellar performance in the high jump, taking the girls under 17 100-meter crown in 11.88 seconds. Girls under 20 100-meter finals. Prolific quarter miler Alexis Roberts showing her short distance speed, getting some points for SAC, winning the title there in 11.90. Capping the night, though, would be the mixed 4x4. Queens College Comets team of Nathan Walker, Andrew Seymour, Sasha Wright, and Jade Knowles would win this one in 3:51.92. Look at the standings after one day of competition. It would be a battle between SAC and QC for complete control. The Comets would lead the under 13 and under 17 female divisions, while SAC would lead the under 15 and under 20. The male under 13 division out in front there, Sister Mary Patricia. SAC would lead the under 15, under 17 boys divisions, while QC would be out in front in the under 20. Action continuing this evening at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Of course, live coverage being brought to you by the ZNS Television Network. And that's been a look at your sports on this Friday. A check on weather when we return.
For 3 exciting days, the National High School Track and Field Championships will take place at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, and ZNS TV will bring you all the action. On Thursday, March 20th, tune in from 6 to 6:30 p.m. for the opening ceremony, and then starting at 8 p.m., join ZNS as young athletes from high schools all over the Bahamas go for gold in the finals. The future of Bahamian track and field the National High School Track and Field Championships live on ZNS TV, March 20th to 22nd. Don't miss it.
It's time for your Access weather forecast. We had a relatively dry cold front push through the northwest Bahamas this morning. 1 to 2 sprinkles was associated with that passage. It's now in the central Bahamas, leaving behind a cold stream of air, and we will see temperatures drop into the 50s in the northwest Bahamas tonight. Now, your boating forecast is brought to you by Live Business, where we simply bulk up your business. For all areas, the winds, they're going to be out of the north at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The high tide will take place at 7:20 this evening. And then tomorrow, in the northwest and central islands, those winds will fall off light and variable, so some beautiful boating conditions shaping up for the weekend with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. Low tide tomorrow, 8:32 in the morning, with a high tide at 2:13 in the afternoon. And then on Saturday in the southeastern parts of our country, we'll have that zonal flow. That means winds blowing out of the east at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Then on Sunday in the northwest and central islands, the winds will pick up slightly out of the east at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide on Sunday, 9:35 in the morning, with a high tide at 3:18 in the afternoon. And for the southeastern islands, that zonal flow will continue at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. It's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Marvin, the other night, we had a good night, then you disappeared on me. Where you going? But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. I've been chilling on my...
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. LaDawn and Melita.
Thanks a lot, Basil. You said the cold front was coming, and here it is. Some great weather there, Basil.
And LaDawn, I said Stax was going to perform, and like Basil, I'm going to deliver. Here's Stax.
If you are under the sound of my voice and your faith needs to be strengthened, you need to be encouraged. I think this testimony is for you. I call him Bahamas. I call him. Always good to see you. I call him. This one is called Abba. Let's go on a journey together. I always used to sing the song Abba, but I didn't have a revelation, didn't have interpretation, cause I never saw him as a father. Not until life started getting harder. Pulled up to the doctor, and she said, we got some bad news for you. Wow, we gonna have to do an x-ray, and we gonna get back to you on the next day. I talked to myself like, why, oh why? What's going on, and will I die? Little did I know he was by my side, and every little need he will supply. When fear was crushing me, he showed me that he has full custody. This whole time I was working for the kingdom, and I didn't understand that I was his son. He is my Lord, he is my master, he is my all, he is my God, and when I call, he always answers, he is my papa. It's a blessing to call him my Abba, my Abba. You say Abba, my Abba, real easy. Abba, my Abba. It's such a blessing to be loved by you, daddy, 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 daddy. No matter what comes my way, he's always on time, he's always on time. No matter what comes my way, he's always on time. Some say 2020 was a big mess, I say 2020 was a big test. I was big mad, big sad, big stressed, but through it all I learned that God knows best. I mean, who would have thought that a doctor's report would be used by the Lord to reveal Father's heart? I ain't saying that he made me sick just so he could show me who the healer is. That ain't it. I'm saying he took my story and got the glory. Now my testimony is surely God is for me. Would you believe me if I told y'all what he told me? He said, son, please take the focus off your body, cause the moral of the story really is the way you saw me. When you got those results, you just ignored me. Never once did you ask, where are you, Abba? Because you knew me as your master, but not your father. I said, Lord, I thought I had a liver issue. He said, nah, what you had was a filter issue. And that filter was blurred, you couldn't see the picture. You couldn't see this whole time I was always with you. But anyway, now that we got your mind right, we gon' deal with your body because the time's right. This doctor hit me on the phone like, hey sir, long story short, God is a healer. He is my master, he is my all, he is my dada. And when I call, he always answers, he is my papa. It's a blessing to call him my Abba, my Abba, Abba, my Abba, Abba, my Abba. It's such a blessing to be loved by you. Daddy, 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 daddy. No matter what comes my way, he's always on time, he's always on time. No matter what comes my way, that's my word of encouragement to you. No matter what comes my way, he's always on time, he's always on time. No matter what comes my way, he's always on time, he's always on time, he's always on time, he's always on time. Yep, he's always on time, he's always on time. Such a blessing to be loved by you. I like that new song.
All right, awesome,
Amazing.
awesome. How are you feeling after that performance?
I feel great. That's the first time I'm doing that song publicly, so yeah.
Really?
Great feeling.
Awesome,
It is.
awesome. And that does it for Access Now. Make sure to join us on Monday.
And stay tuned for Royston Jones. ZNS's Eye Candy at 11 o'clock, the last newscast in the nation.
Have a great and safe weekend.
Good night, everyone.
I always used to sing the song.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paiswell Forbes. This is ZNS.